Good morning, everyone.
Hello, I am happy to be here today. Tammy, how are you? With our special guest, Crystal. How are you all?
Good. How are you?
I'm excited to have you back. You are one of those guests that comes back, and we all love it and enjoy it because of your insights and your inspiration. And we're excited about what we're going to talk today. But Tammy, you always come up with great announcements and information for everybody in the audience.
So, first, I just want to say welcome, everyone. And of course, we have Lori, my amazing co host, and Crystal. I mean, I work with Crystal and I love Crystal. And so I'm excited to have her as well. So, and I hope the holidays are treating you well. I know Lori and I have been fighting viruses, but that's just part of the holidays at times. So, anyway. I want to say thank you again for being here and make sure you share and like and introduce us to other people. Also, if you have anyone in mind that would be you think would be a great guest, or if you have a great topic, send a direct message it to us because we're always interested in those kind of things.
To
Because
have
there
you,
might be a topic that you might be interested in, and if it's something that goes with our values or what we're about, we'd be love to talk about that. So, and make sure you check out our website, which we are constantly updating, and that is at unlockingfreedominnature.com. Also, for those that would like to share your links or your affiliate links or your websites, make sure you do those on Mondays underneath the Monday marketing, underneath comments. So, anyway, let's get down to business here.
one
Or what
topic we're
would you
going to
say?
talk about today, yeah, especially in this season, applicable to Tammy and I right now because of the way we've been feeling, is self-care and how important it is.
Yes,
Yes.
ultimately, we are in sixth season, and a lot of it, honestly, comes from the fact that we're not outside getting the sunshine. Our bare feet are not on the ground. Like those little things that when somebody goes, "What's your self-care routine look like?" You're like, "I don't know. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I make dinner." Like, what self-care? When? What time? So, unfortunately, the time of year when we have less sunshine, less being outside, less fresh air, we're, constantly on recirculated air, it can take its toll on the immune system. And that's when all those fun little viruses that come home from school like to come out to
Right.
play.
Or flying from trips. I came back
Oh yeah,
flying
me
from
too.
Orlando. So, you're in closed cabins and stuff. So, yeah. And I don't know about you guys. You guys, I think, are both in warmer climates than me. I have snow outside.
Totally, totally.
I
Also,
can't really walk barefoot. I could walk barefoot outside. And I do open my windows this time of year, and people are like, "What? Are you crazy?" My husband's like, "Are you crazy?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it kills those germs, and it just feels good to have that fresh air, even if it's only like 30 degrees. It still feels to please open that window up because, like you said, Crystal, it's hard for self-care this time of year, hard for those earthing. Thankfully, we have like Olivia's the earthing mats,
mats,
right?
and pillowcases. Yeah. There's events to attend to, recitals, concerts, so much.
Oh yeah, we have class parties, we have extra cookies. Like this is also the time of year where like more sugar comes out to play because it's just the way all the meals and the memories are built, right? Is baking cookies and just eating things we don't normally eat and celebrating the holiday. So it's compounding because there's so much to self-care. Like it's not just physical. So many people start various self-care routines, health or wellness routines because of the physical aspect, but there's so many other components to self-care. There's spiritual, there's mental, emotional, there's social is part of self-care, like being around other humans, like talking at the workplace or having groups you get together with. So there's so many other parts of it that just go to an overall wellness and self-care aspect. It's more than just somebody sitting in a sauna 4 days a week. That's just one of thousands of versions of self-care, which I think is really cool.
Oh, you're so right on. So, and it's kind of like, for those who don't know you though, Crystal, I think this would be a great time that you kind of talk about your story, how you've gotten to where you're at, because it's an amazing story and you have an amazing product that we're marketing and stuff that helps people in self-care also. So, and you're just a great example of taking care of yourself. So, we're going to let you go ahead and share your story here.
Of course. Well, if you don't know me, my name is Crystal Baker. I stumbled upon a targeted ad about 10 years ago for a self-care tool. And at the time, I was about 85 pounds overweight, kind of miserable, constantly choosing unhealthy things like terrible eating habits, lots of drinking, very party mentality. My kids frustrated me to no end. I had zero patience, zero self accountability, and I was never wrong nor the problem. Okay. So I stuck to that. All right. And I stumbled
Eh,
upon this targeted ad for a self care tool.
I was
And
gonna
in
say,
my
like,
mind,
how
I
did
was
that work for you? Like
yeah,
you
that
were
was
never.
interesting because I do need to lose a bunch of weight, but maybe if I just smoothed out this cellulite, I won't feel so miserable. Maybe if it like it was all vanity, 100%. I was like, if these lumps and dents are gone, I'll be totally okay with my entire lot in life. All I will be unbothered about everything else that bothers me if my legs are smooth. So that was my logic, but it got me to push purchase. Okay, so it did
Okay,
its job.
okay.
Awesome.
And it literally became my gateway to self care. I started with it. I had some bruising because working with your fascia and the tissue layers and the muscle and getting just deeper into like our bodies hold so much emotion and so much trauma from every fall we've ever had as a kid to every poor experience we've ever had in life. Like we hold those emotions in the tissue. And I went gung ho, just blasting away with this crazy plastic stick that nobody understood, had some bruising, but my pain in my knee and my back, where I once sneezed and got stuck bent over and had to like shuffle crawl to the car to get a massage therapist to release my psoas. Like I never knew our bodies were so connected that me having tight hips literally had me bent over to where I could no longer stand up straight.
Yeah.
That my body was so tight and screaming for so much help. And from that moment on, I Googled and dug into every study, every ounce of research, how muscles are connected, which parts of the body directly impact the others, how to treat the whole system. And I changed my entire line of thinking from, oh, this cellulite's annoying, and the stick says it can make it go away, to our bodies are this master machine and they want to heal themselves and they want to work well if we give them the proper environment and care to truly thrive in everything from your thoughts to how you move your body and use it throughout the course of the day. And it just changed the whole trajectory for the rest of my life. And since then, I got over my fear of talking on a camera. I used to get physically ill hearing the sound of my own voice.
Mhm.
And now I tell everyone that it's not as hard as it feels to start a self-care routine. Like
Cool.
making the choice and finding the time, it's not as, it feels so heavy. It's not as bad as it feels in the moment.
Let's break
Right.
it down. I love this. Tell me a little bit about like dealing with the emotions the way you were dealing with them. Was that a real solution, Band-Aid? And tell us more of what you learned.
Well,
Yeah, I
and the
spent a
fascia
long
blaster is amazing. So go ahead and talk about
it is very intense work. Like you will find it becomes some of the most physical and like emotional releasing work you've ever done. Like anybody that's ever had a massage, the massage therapist tells you you're probably going to be sore tomorrow. You know, make sure you drink a ton of water. Like they know that release comes from the tissue release out of there. I was an expert throughout my entire life of living in masculine energy. To me, emotions were weakness. They needed to be shoved down, not acknowledged. And if you just pushed it down in a way, it was going to be no longer a problem. We could move on from this if we just don't think about it, because it's not going to be part of our life if we refuse to acknowledge its existence. When I started using the fascia blaster and cupping and getting into all these different modalities, I had probably a few months of just absolute random rage, tears. I would be blasting my stomach and just suddenly be sobbing. And I was not one to cry. And it was over, like, all of a sudden thoughts from middle school, high school pop into your head, and you're just like, oh, like, and then you start to think you're a little crazy. You're like, what is wrong with me? I am sitting here in the bathtub using this plastic stick, working on my cellulite, just sobbing, and I don't know what's happening. So
Yeah.
it is definitely a release.
Yes, and Eva was here last week as our guest, and we talked about that, how our body, Chinese traditional medicine indicates how our body stores energy, experiences, feelings, and emotions. And I think that that was a good way for you to try to deal with your emotions, but it was not the only way to self-care then, right? You realize that, and what other components then you have found to that you've added to your self-care routine?
So the hardest part was mental. The most free thing and the hardest self-care work you ever have to do is working against negative thoughts, difficult thoughts, self-depreciating thoughts. So before I even added in all the various tools and things that I've tried, because I am a human guinea pig, I will try anything and everything to see how it impacts my body, if it makes it better, makes it worse. So I have never shied away from trying new things. But anybody that is stepping into self-care, I just want them to have the knowledge, the grace, and the understanding with themselves that so much of it, after making the choice, is just the first step. The mental work that you have to do and the emotional, and you kind of got to take a hard look at yourself with a truth mirror. And sometimes you don't love what you see, but it's not permanent. We're not a tree. We can move, we can grow, we can change. I can tell you, I am nowhere near the person that I was a decade ago. Not only do I look physically different, I am way more emotionally mature, way more balanced. And now I am just doing what I can to make my body the most optimal environment to continue to heal itself. A big part of that now is adding in peptides. If you've ever heard of insulin, Ozempic, Wegovy, those are peptides. And the science behind them is so cool. Does anybody know where Ozempic came from? It came from the Gila monster. It is a lizard, and it's the venom. And they studied it because it only eats 1 day per year. And they were like, how? How does a creature stay alive eating once per year? Like, how can its body operate that way? And they found out the peptides within the venom can act in the human body the same way, suppressing hunger. And that's where one of the most commonly known household peptides now in 2024 was found, was the venom of a crazy lizard.
Oh my
Wow.
goodness, that's fascinating.
And that's it, and it's scary, you know. It's like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, it's a natural product. If they can call it a natural, it doesn't mean it's good for you. It's kind of like I have told people, because you know, people like advertise this skincare is all natural and this one's all natural or not, you know. But then it's like, okay, let's take a look at those ingredients. You wouldn't put poison ivy on your face
Right.
or poison oak, but so why would you put something poisoning in your body, right? And
Yeah,
like, and it's like that we were talking, we had one of our guests that we were talking about how that product kills muscle mass and all the damage it can cause, you know, compared to the peptide, these natural organic peptides that are healthy.
yeah, the cool thing with peptides, as I've been digging into them, is most people are familiar with like collagen and protein. Those are peptides, they're amino acid chains they're just pretty long amino acid chains. The peptides that I work with are a bioactive precision peptide. They are small chains, they are very strong. It is taking the best out of nature, combining it with the knowledge we have now with science and making it work, but taking these tiny little things. For example, one of the products, the peptide ingredient, that the primary one that suppresses the hunger, is found in a fava bean. Like, I don't know how many people are out there just like eating buckets of fava beans, but deep down in there, there's a little peptide that can take and be the key that unlocks the portion of our DNA that controls the ghrelin hunger hormone. So they've taken the one beautiful thing with like AI technology and access to all the information in the world is they were able to take the millions and millions of peptides in nature and run them through essentially an algorithm to how to unlock the few thousand locks within our body that control all the things we want to turn up, turn down, turn off, turn on. And you're actually able to isolate single peptides in nature and draw them out to be able to consume them. And because they're created in nature, they're meant to survive out there, right? They have their own protective matrix. So we as humans can digest it. Most peptides that are injected are so fragile that if you don't keep them refrigerated correctly or you shake the vial too hard, it breaks the chain and then it's ineffective and it can't survive the digestive process, which is why so many of them are prescription because they are lab made, they're synthetic, and you have to inject it in to get the benefits out of it. It can't survive the digestive tract.
So I'm so curious about this product. Tammy mentioned that you are a part of or you are promoting recently. How is it
And
that
it's on our
who
website as well. So it's called Make Wellness. So
and who would
anybody,
need it? Who do you recommend it for? And what difference would it come what difference would it make in your life, especially in the self-care spectrum?
Yeah, so currently we have what I consider two categories of products. We have a total of six right now, a few more coming in the first quarter of next year. But because each peptide can have such a, like, they could create a peptide specifically for hair growth, and its only purpose is to go flip on the little hair growth switch in your body. And that's how like precise they can make these. But we currently have what I consider body and brain. So in the body category, we have lean, which would be comparable to those injectables, only in a natural form, taken as a capsule in the morning. You take two on an empty stomach. It suppresses your hunger, but it also helps to kind of quiet that food noise. I didn't realize how much I thought about my next meal and my next snack until I started taking it. And then I was like, what do I do with the rest of my day now that I just freed up about 4 hours of thinking about what I want to eat for each meal? Like, I have so much time in my day. And then we have hydrated, which is a mineral and an electrolyte, but it's developed to mimic plasma within the body to make it absorb at a cellular level. Every single person that owns a body needs to have hydrated. That one is for everyone. Lean is for those that need to lose visceral fat. That peptide is designed to release visceral fat out of the body. And then we have fit. Fit is there to prevent muscle loss. It is also going to help with muscle growth. It takes inflammation out of your joints. So those three are like my body power trio. On the brain side, focused. Focused does not get enough love. I think when more people experience that, like if you were ever medicated in college to focus and get your homework done and take that fancy little pill that gives you about 3 hours of really intense work, focus has become like a natural alternative for me for that prescription that I no longer wanted to take because I was struggling in so many other aspects. I can get my homework done, decision. Um, but focus is kind of like your brain's best friend, and it has a blue light aspect for your eyes, so it's really good for eye health and preventing that like painful strain if you work on a screen all day. You don't have that soreness behind your eyes anymore. What else do I
Which
forget?
I need to try
Calm.
that one. I have not tried
Yes.
that one yet. So
Oh, it's
I'm
and
excited. I just ordered some more the other day. So
but they're so impactful that you feel them quickly. Most lifestyle changes, when you step into a gym, they're like, don't expect to see results for 60, 90, 120 days. You may start to feel stronger, but don't even expect to see anything for a few months. The beauty with these is within a few days, you're like, I just feel really good because they're optimizing your body to work from a state of harmony and to actually operate in the way that it was intended to and to be the most effective. So we have Calm, which is a little packet that you put on your tongue, and it has ashwagandha and lemon balm and GABA. And it is like taking your browser and going, close all tabs. Your mind is then just like, wow, like you don't lay in bed with racing thoughts. It doesn't make you tired necessarily. You're just chill. You're just so relaxed. You're like, what even is stress? I'm perfectly content to just hang out here right now. And so that is my favorite little pixie stick that I take in the evening.
I love it. I know. And they're, like you said, they're easy. And it's like we had some of them. And I guarantee I'd probably be sicker if I wasn't taking this right now. But when we were on vacation, my problem is it's like, okay, I have certain ones I have to medicine I take for my tumors and stuff early on. And then I take those, what is it? The lean, I think the lean or fit, one of those. My mind's not even here today. And then I have to eat, but then it's like, I was like, oh, I need to take my vitamins today, but I'm not really hungry. So I take a snack just like I can have my vitamins at lunch around 1 or so. So because I don't like taking them too late. But it's amazing how it does help. And you notice a difference in your clothing, how they fit. And like you said, the energy. So it's a nice product. But I was talking to this older lady last time I was getting my hair done. And she was saying her doctor's like, and I didn't realize this was the cost. Once wanted her to go get those injections for the that other product. And it was like, even with insurance, it was like $1,200 or $1,600 for an injection. And I'm like, oh my gosh, why would you spend that money? Why would I hate needles? So I was like, and why would you let somebody inject that in you? Um, and sh-
Yeah,
and that was what the
tough
doctor
space.
was recommending, and she wasn't even that overweight. But they told her she needed to lose weight, and that was. So of course I gave her our site, but it's interesting. But the other thing I've noted is people doesn't mean that when you're taking this that you can just sit there and eat all the cakes and not work out and stop doing everything.
Yes, it is definitely a lifestyle complement. It is not a magic pill. It is not a quick fix. It is something that works with you to optimize your body's natural processes. I had to change quite a bit on my thoughts and feelings about food and how I prepared for the day of eating when I was taking these. Because when my hunger was suppressed and my appetite was less, I realized that it became a little bit harder to get my whole meal in. And if I started with eating French fries and didn't touch my chicken, I was full by the time I finished the fries. And now I just had no protein. So I had to kind of re-look at how I set up my plate and eat my protein first. And I do not need to put the usual portion size that I used to eat because then I go through this like 90s guilt where my parents used to tell me I had to have a happy plate and there was children starving in third world countries and if I didn't eat it it was I was ruining everybody's life by not cleaning my plate. So I had to go through and I didn't need to load up my whole plate just because that's what I used to do. It was okay to take it down to only putting one bite on my plate. Like nobody's going to be offended that I didn't eat a heaping scoop of whatever side dish they made. I tasted it, it was delicious, but I also felt so in control of my thoughts around everything that I was like, I'm okay to not keep going. I don't need to clear out the entire pan. So it just, the peptides have given me a little more control on the mental battlefield of just existing. Honestly, we live in a day and age where life is hard. It is stressful. Things are more expensive. Everything is more chaotic. We have kids on devices. We're not out in nature. We're not out on the ground and just being social creatures with others. We do a lot of stuff behind screens, which has a beautiful place. Like imagine the people that we never would have met if we didn't have social media because we don't
Oh,
live local to each other.
Right.
And now we can have best friends and network with people from across the world. It's amazing.
well, we
But
wouldn't be
we're
talking
spending
to
less
each
time
other, would
outside.
we?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's
There's
just so much of life, like lifestyle. And we as humans, like these products make some of those aspects of lifestyle easier. It's easier to find the time when you don't feel stressed and weighed down and just heavy with life. If you can take something that just kind of gives you that extra assistance to close those tabs in your mind, kind of decompress a little bit, not feel like you have to, oh, I just remembered a comeback I should have said for that argument in middle school. Like, why are we thinking about that? Why
yes.
is that what races through our minds? So something that can help. You're like, I have 20 minutes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go take a bath. I'm going to put some magnesium in there, some Epsom salts. I'm going to just treat my muscles for a few minutes because I feel so like good right now. I just want to fully wind down. So these things kind of fall into place just a little bit easier when you add tools to your toolbox.
I
And it's
think
also nice when our clothes fit a little bit better.
Yeah. I
Amen.
think of it, the Industrial Revolution and how when from horse carriages we changed transition into cars, etc. I wonder if something also happened to the human brain at that moment where things changed and all these eras and all these differences, our bodies, the health, with when other diseases were prevalent. Now we're not facing, we have overcome some of those diseases because of discoveries and some just had to do with hygiene, etc. I mean, now we're evolving again with all these changes and advances and everything you mentioned, Crystal, so beautifully articulated. And something, some adjustments need to happen. And when we are aware of those changes that are happening in society, in the community, etc., we then need to do whatever it takes to take care of ourselves. And everything you have mentioned is so good. And it doesn't matter how many supplements and peptides, and like you said, we still need to have a lifestyle and we still need to be aware of our choices and our activity. Like you said, we're not out in nature. I'm sure Tammy got like, some pain there because we should. We
I've been
still
going to the
should, right?
chicken coop and
Yeah, it's so
I
good.
was bringing Rocky in from my fireplace yesterday. So
Yeah, but it's harder, right? During some seasons and of our life, seasons of the year and conditions of the weather, etc. I wanted to give a shout out to Heather, to Pam, to Eva. They're here watching, and we're so excited you're here with us. Ask
and
Crystal
Amy,
questions about who?
isn't it Amy Tuttle's here too?
Wonderful, wonderful, Amy. Yes. So all of you ask Crystal some questions on about the peptides or about self-care. And also let us know how is it that you do your own self-care? How do you prioritize yourself? Because I have some data here about physical health benefits like Tammy said, if she, because I know Tammy takes good care of herself, I'm sure that in this season with a lot of viruses and things going around, she probably would have been even sicker, the same as me, because we're already believing so many things and are already doing some things. I am grateful that it hasn't knocked me down worse, right, Tammy? We're grateful and we, excel positivity, inhale positivity and excel possibilities. We are both grateful, checking on each other, like how are you feeling today? And leaving voice clips with hoarse, voices and all that, and sound horrible maybe. But we're grateful we are here. We're here with you every time we can. And So, physical health benefits of self-care is chronic disease prevention and improved mobility and strength. Many of you have heard my story on my shoulder, and I can attest that movement is what's helped my range of motion in that shoulder. Menopausal and postmenopausal symptom management. And if you're not in that stage yet and you're younger than that, I'm sure, like with your female issues, also it makes it better. Like mindfulness, like Crystal was saying, balanced nutrition and hydration alleviates symptoms like hot flashes, sleep disturbances, and mood swings. So there are many, many, many reasons for our physical bodies to prioritize self-care. Also, mental and emotional health, with Crystal has touched a lot on. Stressors like caregiving roles or work-life balance can accumulate and overwhelm us, and meditation and therapy and hobbies and going out in nature provides stress relief. And the American Psychological Association says that women that practice self-care are 60% less likely to report symptoms of anxiety and depression. So I definitely want to stay in that percentage. How about you? How about you watching? How about you? Depression and anxiety are the buzzwords that I'm like, no, we need to beat that. We need to be anxious, but anxiously engage in a good cause is the way I like to use that word. Like Crystal, promoting wellness, promoting health and balance. Tammy, promoting loving nature, going out on walks. Me, passionate about personal development and connections, parenting connections, relationship connections with communicating effectively. So this is what we need. We need resiliency. We are seeing too many people being knocked down because of life's adversities, and we need to be emotionally intelligent, build that resiliency to know that we're going to be equipped for whatever storm we're going to face. And
So
then
one of
also,
the things I'm gonna, sorry for interrupting, but is what I noticed when we were in Florida is you're eating out a lot when you're on vacation. And your food, well, read your labels. And I'm glad that they're going to be doing more research and talking about that more in our food supply. Because if you look at the ingredients in like Cheerios or Oreos, um, it's different. It's like I ordered some Oreos. They're kind of like Oreos. They're called something different through Thrive, which is a health food grocery online store. And the ingredients are few. And then you look at the ingredients of Oreos. Or like example, M&Ms was different back 20 years compared to today because of all the food dyes and the additives, which can cause a lot of problems. So besides taking like healthy peptides, we need to watch what we put in our body. And kind of like you said, Crystal, and I think and Eva talked about this last week, water. Healthy, having that good water, drinking a lot of liquid water. I carry a thermos around a lot and drink a lot of water. So those are helpful. Just doing those little tricks, can make a difference.
Yeah,
So
it's okay to acknowledge that we currently live in a world of convenience, which is something that we have cultivated as a people over the decades. It was necessary at the time. We are busier people, but then we started wearing busy like a badge of honor.
yeah.
And then we also stuck with some of those generational curses of women are the homemakers, women are the nurturers, women need to be the first to take from themselves to give to others. And then if you have children, your sole job, like your entire role is to cultivate your child and give them the best lot in life. And then you wake up 18 years later and you go, I don't even know who I am, let alone what I like or what I want to do or who I want to
Right.
be. So
Wow.
I'm perfectly content to be the first one at the front, like waving my selfish flag that I'm going to take care of myself first because I only get one life, same as my child, same as you. And I want to enjoy all the seasons of it. And caring for myself made me better as a mom, as a wife. It made me more patient and understanding and willing to have hard conversations and work through difficult times in my life. Like, if we are under a constant blanket of heavy stress and despair, and then the world throws something like traumatic at you, you can't handle it. Your whole like your mind is like, boop, we're done now. Like that was a fun experiment, but I'm so drained. I cannot even handle what's happening.
And you're absolutely right. I think that's why people talk so much about anxiety and all of this, because it became like, oh, this is just a normal word. And it's like, but how did we get there? Because if we're taking care of ourselves and eat your chocolate. I mean, I made myself chocolate dipped bananas the other day and frozen bananas, and they tasted great. you know but you get some people that go so extreme. It's like, oh, I'm not going to have another piece of candy or chocolate again, or french fries or something. But it's like, you don't have to go to extreme, and you got to enjoy life, because it's like you said, it's physically and it's mentally and it's emotionally. And if you're fit, kind of like the airplane, put your own mask on. If we don't take care of ourselves, how are we supposed to help anybody else? Because if you're not taking care of yourself with the self-care, you're going to find your attitude is so bad that nobody wants to be around you, because you'll become negative, and without even realizing it. And I know I've been there before. I've, nobody is perfect. But I love how you just share that so well, Crystal, because we've all been there. Whether we admit it or not, there's times, it's like when I was modeling, I was always fit. I didn't have an ounce of fat on me. I was working out, and even though I'd had was dealing with my tumors and stuff, I was going in 3 days a week for massages, 5 days a week for workouts, to stay in shape, and you get this kind of like, but what people didn't realize is I had a high metabolism. And I was talking to my sister about this. People would say the meanest things to me. And I got kicked out of stores because they're like, why are you in this store? It was like a Maurice's or something. You are too skinny for any of these clothing. And I'm like, what? Or you must be starving yourself. You must be anorexic. You must be bulimic. And I was like, but I'm not. And I get called names. People can be so unkind, and they don't realize that you might be dealing with some autoimmune disease or something. So I'm asking everybody, and I know we have the best audience, and I'm sure nobody here does this, is be kind and be understanding, because everybody's going through something different. It doesn't matter, it's like when I was talking to somebody else about this before, she's like, I just thought I was picked on because she was heavier. And I was like, no, people can be so mean to anybody, and which doesn't help with. And so my number one thing for self-care is surround yourself with positive people who are uplifting, who inspire you, who encourage you. So when you want to do this lifestyle change, they're not sitting there putting self-doubt in your mind, like, why are you spending the money on these peptides? Why are you spending the money on going to work out or a fascia blaster or these different things? Sometimes those people aren't the best, and sometimes it's best just not to say anything to them and just do your thing and surround yourself with people that are like in this group.
Yeah, we definitely live in a label heavy society. I don't know when that became a thing, but we love labels. We love to categorize and put people in little boxes. It's just this crazy thing. But we've also taken common and made it normal. So just be like, it's common for all of us to live in houses, but that doesn't mean that that's the only way, right? So we've taken like this illness or this behavior is common. Oh, most students now have like testing anxiety. Oh, that's just normal now. No, it's still a problem. There's still something, a root cause that needs to be addressed. But just because it's common doesn't mean it's normal. And yes, a lot of it comes back to the food, the water, the air we breathe, just the compounding effects of how we live. And unfortunately, in this convenience based world, we're exposed to things that are endocrine disruptors and wreak havoc on our bodies from the inside. And we don't even realize it until 20 years later, the damage that was done. It's not my fault that Bath and Body Works was such a big thing when I was a teenager. We were all coated in sweet pea lotion. Like it was the thing. And
Yes.
now we all have hormone damage. So who knows?
Right. One thing you mentioned, Crystal, and thanks for sharing all that, Tammy. You were doing your part and people were criticizing you, and we never know all the information. Let's be compassionate and kind. Definitely, Tammy, I agree with you. And Crystal, you mentioned selfish. Sometimes people think that self-care is selfish, and self-care is completely the opposite. Like Tammy mentioned, the oxygen mask that we so much like to repeat and remind everybody about because it's a great lesson to learn in an airplane. How can we save somebody else's life if we're not breathing ourselves? Just remember that. I research and it says that self-care empowers women over 50 or women in general to maintain a vibrant and joyful life. And it's not self-care. It's not selfish. It's self-protection, self-preservation, and it's self-centered. Think about the word selfish and self-centered. It kind of has a different tonality. And when it's self-centered, if we're taking care of ourselves, then as caretakers, that nurturing nature that we have, we will be able to give more of ourselves. We cannot give from ourselves if our cup is empty, if our pockets are empty, if we're drained emotionally, overworked, overtired. And prioritizing all these things, physical health, mental well-being, and social connections. It increases longevity. Remember that. And I think this is what Crystal is emphasizing right now. We want to live long, quality lives. Okay. Self-care is not selfish, it is self-preservation. And that is an act of love for yourself and those around you. So thank you so much for reminding all this. Renee Pelayo is here too, and Kelly. So I'm wanting to say hello to all these people watching and supporting. And if you have questions for Crystal and Tammy about these peptides or anything about self-care, please let us know.
So, and look, let's go into a little bit more self-care, like taking our adventures, right? Going on trips, retreats, that you can just relax and enjoy. Crystal, I saw that you're going to be going to Disney,
Oh yeah.
which is fun, and congratulations. And we all have to take our kids there sometimes. But it's kind of funny because I just spent 2 days at two Disney parks in Florida with my grandkids, which was fun, but it's exhausting. Just to warn you, you're going to want an extra week later just to go and play at the beach and enjoy. Because you're running and there's all the pavement you're on and all the people you're surrounded, and you are going to have an amazing time. Um, but at the same time, make sure you schedule some days off that you just hang out at a pool or hang out at the beach. So, and that's why Lori and I have those experiences. Those are the kind of gifts to give at Christmas is, gifts that are going to help. Either it's like we do gifts that, like, you're going to Disney. We've done this before where we knew our family was going to, we gave them gift cards or Disney tickets or gift cards so they could get merchandise at Disney's because to help fulfill the experience. Or if we know they're going on hiking adventures, we're going to give hiking gear. Or you just put those little things in because people, when they experience us, that's where you create memories. And it's helping us physically and mentally, and it's helping those other people, our friends and our family, out as well emotionally. Anyway, that's my idea throw about it. So,
Which is
Oh,
your most exciting adventure coming up, Tammy, that we're offering next year?
so
We have
we have.
plenty options.
I don't think she froze.
Yeah, she froze. You froze. Come back, come back.
Oh,
Yeah,
sorry.
you're
Am I
back. You're
there?
back.
I'm
You're back.
sorry.
You're back.
Yes, this is what happens in snowy areas. I'm looking for St. Lucia and Barbados. I
Yes.
mean, they just sound amazing.
Oh,
I love
yes.
checking out the culture. I love checking out the islands, sitting at the ocean with my feet in the sand or
Mm.
snorkeling. I mean, those are
I
the
want
kind of
it
things
now.
I love. And I'm looking forward to going on more hikes and adventures here in my area. How about you, Crystal?
I've got a trip to Orlando for work in March. I have a Boston trip in March, Vegas in
Mm,
February. Where else? Then we're going to Disney in September. And I mean, I would tell you before I even like worked on myself and my self-care, I didn't really care too much about experiences. To me, they didn't hold that level of value. I'd rather have material things, tangible things, because
mm.
they're short-lived, they're a little vain, but it was one of those things where I don't have to worry about my stress level or my physical ability or where I'm going on a trip if I just don't go on any trips. I don't have to worry about how my body's going to look in a bathing suit if I never go to the beach. I don't have to worry about how bad my feet are going to hurt if I never put myself at a Disney park to walk 25,000 steps. Like it was kind of an avoidance of things. But feeling so much better and being more agreeable, people catch me in these agreeable moments. They're like, my husband, you want to go to Boston for a weekend? And instead of my initial thought being, that's going to be a lot of planning and a lot of stress and a short turnaround, I'm like, adventure, let's go.
Yes,
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 love it.
that's awesome. I'm glad the peptides are, knocking on that little click button there.
Well, I know
But the
Lori's done
Take
a
this
experience
lot
chill
of trips
powder.
this year.
and this experience button. Oh, I love it. I love it. I'm just ready to go anytime. And I know it takes effort and planning and sometimes you have so much fun that hopefully you need a vacation from the vacation, not because you were overwhelmed and you didn't have a good time. It's the opposite. Again, like Tammy, she just came back from her trip with her grandchildren and all that. I came back from destination wedding in El Salvador. We hiked to a volcano. It was beautiful, beautiful. All the plants, the agave, giant agave plants, and and I did some earthing too. On the way down, I took shoes off, and it just felt incredible. So it is really good. I'm glad you're opening your mind to those experiences, Crystal.
Well, yeah, we
So,
can't take stuff with us when we go, right? But your
right.
memories stay with you forever. And I also want longevity. I want my remaining years to be my best years. I don't want to be 97 but unable to bend over or pick something up or get myself out of bed. Like there's a difference between living a long life and living a high quality long life. And I'm
Yes.
just all about as much quality as I can pack in to my life.
Oh, exactly. And you're a great example for your daughter and for friends and family as well. A lot of times people don't realize, but our examples, a lot of times somebody's watching us and we don't even realize it. So with this positive attitude and this healthy lifestyle, you're triggering helping others without even knowing it.
I just want to remind everyone, and I agree with you, Tommy. I want to remind everyone of my experience last year. I was turning a certain age where I wanted to celebrate, and I wasn't not gonna wait for anyone to celebrate for me or make me go or do that. I wanted to own it, and I wanted to advocate for myself and celebrating this milestone in my life. So I went to the UK, I went to Costa Rica, and it was life changing. And also, my husband and I had an anniversary where we took our first cruise last year. The difference that it makes, because 30 years raising children and surviving as a couple is just wonderful. But then when we took that time away intentionally, it's so funny. I tell Tammy, like it's a cruise, so no meals, no rental cars, no running away, no laundry, no nothing. And no house cleaning, no housekeeping, nothing for on my shoulders. He told me, I can't believe you're okay not doing anything. And I'm like, of course I am okay not doing anything, just planning our next day of adventure and entertainment. When there's something to do, I cannot sit and not do it. It has to get done. So he even realized a certain aspect of me that I can sit still without doing anything just until we went to that. So our connection got deeper. I mean, not only because he realized I can't do nothing, it's just like it was a time away to get away, to disconnect, to reconnect, disconnect from the hustle and bustle, disconnect from technology, even because on the ocean, in the middle of the ocean, you have limited capacities, and just to chill. Another thing is Tammy and I with that Idaho retreat. It was a connection retreat. And again, we, like Crystal, like you said earlier, we had the blessing of meeting through technology. But man, what a difference it made when we saw each other for the first time and connected with the attendees in that retreat. And we went into Tammy's garden and we cooked, from her garden to the table, fresh, delicious food, and with her fruits and vegetables. It's just amazing. And nothing can replace that. Nothing can change that. And we need to continue fighting for making those events happen and creating the opportunities ourselves and taking advantage of the opportunities presented to you.
Exactly. And Crystal, I loved one of the comments I was reading your Facebook page about how it's never too, there's never a set time that you can have to set goals. Everybody always thinks January is setting goal. And I know you phrased it beautifully, so I'm going to let you talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, we literally don't need a Monday. We don't need a first of the month. We don't need a January 1st. We just need to make the decision. Like change can start right now. So many people put these arbitrary limits on it. Like tomorrow, when I wake up, I'll start making healthy choices. I'm like, well, you're feeling guilty right now. So how about you just make the next choice a healthier choice, right? And then those kind of start to compound. And next thing you know, we have this crazy healthy routine and saunas installed in our basement. It is what it is. It's baby steps.
Yeah,
I
I
love
always
it.
say today is the first day of the rest of your life. Don't and Tammy always says make every day a special day. Don't wait for that special day to happen. So let's make it happen now.
Yeah, because we never know. We never know how long we have or how long we have someone else in our lives. So make every moment always count when you're with somebody, whether it's your words or what you do. But enjoy life, enjoy your work, enjoy your what you do. If you don't enjoy what you do, why are you doing it? Um, and and I know I'm kind of pushing the make wellness a little bit here, but there's opportunities for people to be affiliates as well with that, correct?
Yeah, the beauty of this being such a social media heavy society that we are in now is anybody can make money online. You can be working a 9 to 5, hate your 9 to 5, and be working on an off ramp somewhere else. You can have a digital product, you can have affiliate links, you can sign up for Amazon to be an affiliate. That one, they might buy your coffee. Like, we're talking pennies, but it's
Yeah,
there.
it's
It's
pennies.
additional income, right? Or you can have a high producing additional affiliate link. And for me, that was Make Wellness. It was the simplest, easiest link sharing, up to 40% on the commissions, no obligations or requirements from me, but so much potential for people to change their lives if they take the time. I tell so many people if you have a phone in your hand and a social media presence and you are getting on these apps completely for free, you should fix that. Like if you're on there spending the time anyway, there are ways to cultivate it into an income producing situation for you. And you can do it in a way that feels natural and aligned and works for you and your lifestyle and what you believe in. There is so many options out there in the internet now. I mean, there are kids opening toys on YouTube making millions, guys. It literally, there is limitless potential to monetizing the online space. If you choose to get uncomfortable and do something that's new and be a beginner, it feels hard. It kind of makes you feel a little sick at first, but then we get better. We get trained up. We learn. We know what we're doing. When I look back at the things I posted a year ago, I cringe, but I am still growing and changing and evolving. And with that, my presence changes. The way I show up online changes. So nothing is like stuck. We can change the trajectory anytime.
Exactly. I worked several hours and changed our website yesterday again. Um, and we have affiliate links for unlocking. And so if anybody's ever interested, Just direct message Lori or I. We do have affiliate links for that. We're setting up, and I have affiliate links for my art, which is just simply referring somebody. And then you get a commission, whether it's a small percentage to a larger percentage. It all depends on what the product is. And, of course, you don't get paid until the person gets paid, but it's pretty easy just for referring. So if anybody's interested, you can direct message any three of us. But there's so many partners and affiliates out there, like you said, Crystal, it's like, if you love something and you're promoting it, ask them if they have an affiliate link. I do all the time. It's like, hey, this is great product. Can I become an affiliate for you? Because I might end up referring. So, and you might only refer them a few times that year, but it's something, right?
Oh yeah, I've seen so many friends share that Hello Fresh box code on their Facebook for years because they know the power of word of mouth marketing. That is the most powerful. Women used to swap their cookbooks, and they were basically social marketing. And here's my recipe for this. And then, Nana's banana pudding travels around the whole neighborhood and then out to other people's families. And that has become that word of mouth marketing. It is the original of everything. But now with the online structure, companies offer affiliate links. Just half of them are sitting on the web page. You can just go click a button, become an affiliate, and you fill out the template of information and you're approved and you have a link. So if you're sharing something with someone anyway, take the extra 5 to 10 minutes to see if you can be compensated for it.
Right. Now, Amazon's a little bit harder because you have to have an online presence and a website and different things. Just for those, in case anybody curious about that. But other things are just like Crystal said, so easy. It's nothing complicated.
This has been amazing. You guys are amazing. I love all the information you've shared, from self-care to affiliate links and increasing your online monetary possibilities. Thank you so much, Crystal. I enjoyed this conversation once again. And we are so excited to just share this information with you. Like Tammy says, if you think this was helpful, share, because we know it was helpful. And we wish you all a happy days coming up, holidays, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. Be cheerful, be happy. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, and just let us know if you need us to help you accomplish this. If you need an accountability partner, we are the coaches that you need. So check out our programs also that are available on the internet. We have courses, we have coaching programs for you. If you rather be on a private setting, we have that available. Instead of going to a retreat, we have that available for you. So I say goodbye, and Tammy and Krista, I'm gonna let you say goodbye as well.
Any last words, Crystal?
Thanks so much for having me. If you find that family is overwhelming and you need just a little bit of calm in your life, give me or Tammy a call. My little pixie stick will be your holiday bestie. So don't you worry. I've got you on that one.
I love it. Yes, definitely. So, and I just want to say thanks and happy holidays. We have it scheduled not to be here next week, but you just never know. Lori and I are feeling it. We might just come on live. So hope you have a wonderful Christmas and a wonderful time with your family and friends. And if you're alone, you can always direct message. We love hearing from everyone. So thanks everyone who's been here and been part and commenting and just for your support. We really appreciate you. Thanks, and hope you have a great day.
Bye.